Hello everybody, welcome back to Southside Miniatures. Today I'm going to start on my new project. It's going to be the Burrow, which is the Weasley's house from Harry Potter. Here's a picture of it here. This is what I'm going to attempt to build. It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy and it'll take me a little while, but I think we're going to have a good go at it and we'll see how it turns out. First of all, what I've got is I've got myself a bit of MDF as the base, and on this MDF I've drawn out a rectangle there for the base of the house. So I'm going to make the 4 walls for that base. You don't have to use MDF. You can use a hard bit of cardboard or anything that's a bit rigid, so that you've got a firm base to build off of. So that's that. I'm going to build this out of foam board, coffee stirrers. I'm going to use cardboard and some, I think it's 10 by 10 dowels. Let me just check that because no, it's actually 8 by 8. 8 by 8 mil dowels. I'm going to use those as the corner posts so that my foam board has a bit of support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start decorating one side of the building, and I'll show you how I get on with that. First of all, I'm going to get my bit of foam board and I'm going to give it a coat of grey paint. Just a rough coat because it's only going to show through behind the brickwork. So it doesn't matter if it's, not a perfect paint. It can just be very rough, just so you can see grey in between the bricks. So I'm going to get this coated. Yeah, I'm using acrylic paint that I mixed up myself for just black and white to make a grey background. So what I'm going to do, this is this painted now. It doesn't, as I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you cover all the white so you don't have any white showing through. That's it. I'm just going to leave that to dry for 10 minutes and then I'll come back to you and we'll start the next bit. That's it. Okay, I finished painting that grey now and that's dried off enough so I can work on it. So the next step, what I did, I got my coffee stirrers because I'm going to make a back door, and I've cut them into 8cm strips. I've got 8 of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them on to my bit of foam board. I've got a bit of PVA glue here, which I'm going to use. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. I've actually measured out the centre because I want the door in the centre of the wall. So I know where I'm starting from. So I'll start from the centre of the door. Should be able to get a couple of strips on there. Glue on there, that's it. And then stick my coffee stirrers side by side, like so. Make sure they're pushed together. That's it. A bit more glue. Pop all your 8 bits down. Keep them straight at the top. one more. Go. That's it, that's that. Right, that's going to be my door. And what I'll do is I'll frame that door once it's dry. The next thing, what I do, still using the coffee stirrers, I'm going to panel the walls off. So what I need to do, hang on, I've lost one of my coffee stirrers now. Here it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the coffee stirrer, because I don't want it this wide. I'm going to split it in half all the way down. So using my craft knife, I just get to the middle there, roughly. And I don't really want these to be straight, so I'm going to try and wiggle my way down the middle of it. So I get some nice bits of wood to decorate my wall with. Right, so that's that one split in half, like so. Now I'm going to measure this because I want it to go, I want a bit to go across that way, both sides. So I'm straightening off the end there. And then I'm going to measure that. I need to put a frame round the door, so I'm just going to put a little mark there as to where I'm going to put it, and then mark it at the end there. Cut that to size. Like so. They're quite easy to cut. And then I shall pop a bit of glue on that. There we are. And that can go across that way, like so. And then I want one going up that way. So I'm going to mark that one there. Just score it, and then you can just snap these straight off. They're pretty easy to break. So I'm going to pop a bit of glue on my stick here. And then that one can go up there. Then I want another one coming down. I'll just square the end off. That's it. I want another one coming down here. So I'm going to mark that. And cut that one. Okay. We'll stick this one on. And I'm going to carry on and do the same the other side. And then what I'll do, I'll come back and show you then about putting the bricks on. Okay, I've finished putting my straps on there. What I'll do afterwards, I'll stain it with a light oak stain and varnish. That'll make it stand out a little bit better. So the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some bricks to put on the front of this. I'll turn this around and show you. I've still got to put a door handle on it, but that's basically how far we've got. I have framed the door, and I used a different colour wood for that because I thought it'd make it stand out a little bit better, the frame. So yeah, but I'll be staining it all light oak. So hopefully the frame will be slightly darker than the door itself. So that's that, and now I'm going to start putting some bricks on. What I've done, oh, by the way, I'm doing this all in 1 in 24, so just to let you know what size I'm doing it. I've cut some 5mm strips of card here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure them out to 1 centimetre long pieces. So I use my ruler and just mark out centimetres, and then I can just cut them with a pair of scissors to make my bricks. So go along as far as I can with this little ruler. Yeah, and then I just use a pair of scissors and just cut my bricks out of the card like so. I mean, you've got to do quite a few of these. It does get a little bit laborious, a little bit tiring doing this, but it's worth it in the end. Right, that's how I cut my bricks up. So what I do now is I'm going to start sticking the bricks on. So I use PVA glue again, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on a small area, because if you put too much on it, it will start drying before you get there. So just do a little bit at a time, and then I use my craft knife to pick up my squares, my bricks, and just place them on the thingy there, and then leave just a millimetre gap in between each brick, so that you can see the grey through it once it's done. And then stagger your bricks so that you've got the join in the middle of the next brick up, like so. And then that's that. And with the rod sizes at the end, you will have to cut some of your bricks up to fit. But fortunately, it's just a small price to pay to get your bricks right. So what I should do with this one is I'm going to cut it to fit in there. So I roughly need about that much, and stick that one on there. There we are. Pop a bit more glue on. And then go on to the next row. Glue sticking to my fingers. And slide them into place, which is handy. Like so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to cover as much of this as I can, and then I'll come back and show you how far I've got. And that there is how you cover with bricks, as you can see there, and I'll cut a few bits to go on the edges there, so it makes it cover the whole lot. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to cover all these bits with brick, and I'll come back to you shortly and show you. Well, after a little while, I've got so far, that's how much I've done so far. It's starting to look quite good. I have varnished the bits of wood and the door. I've varnished them in light oak stain and varnish, and I've put a little doorknob on there. So I think that is looking quite nice. I've just got that little bit to finish off. Once I've finished that, I'll come back and we'll put the walls together. I'll show you the other walls that I've done, and I've done them all in the same principle, so you can be creative and make whatever you want out of coffee stirrers. So yeah, and then we'll be putting the walls together. So yeah, I'll see you in just a moment. Right, I've finished putting the bricks on now. I'm quite pleased with the way it's come out. I've put my two supports, one on either side of my foam board, to give it a bit more rigidity. Yeah, I'll just turn it round and show you there. That's what the wall looks like. That's my back door. I'll dirty up the white a little bit once I've finished the build. I think I can concentrate then on decorating the outside of it. But I just want to get the main structure put together first. I'll show you the other walls that I've made in the same way as I made this one, exactly the same. But what I done, this is one of the side walls here, and I made some windows out of the coffee stirrers. Just cut them and glued them together. to make some windows there, and done exactly the same on the bottom. That's one of the side walls there. The other side wall, I made a bigger window there. So that that's the other side wall. And for the front door, it's all, yeah, the steps are made out of foam board, and the door is made out of coffee stirrers as well, in exactly the same way. So they're my four walls. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them together and glue them to my bit of MDF, and then I'll come back and show you what the finished product looks like. So I'll see you in just a moment. Right, I've glued my four walls together now. They should be dry enough, and I'll be able to show you what it looks like. I'm going to give it a turn around so you can see it all. This will be the front, obviously, and then I just spin it round so you can see all the aspects of the building. This is just the ground floor. I've got quite a lot more to build up, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put any furniture or anything like that on the inside. I'm going to do the windows, and I'm going to paint them orange so that when the lights shine through, it just shines through orange through the windows. So that should look quite nice once it's all done. So that's that. Okay, I'll put that to one side for a moment now. And I just show you on the drawing. I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same as the drawing, but I'll do it as near as I possibly can. I've just done the ground floor here at the moment. In the next video, what I'll be doing is I'll be adding the chimney and putting the struts in and getting ready to put the next floor on. I'll be doing the roof. That should be quite exciting. This is another picture of the back of the building, and as you can see on the back of the building, where are we? Hold on, I can't see myself. Hang on, let's have a look. Oh yeah, this bit at the back here overhangs the ground floor, so I'll be doing that and putting the base in for that bit while I'm doing the roof as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please join me in the next video where we'll continue to do more on the Weasley's house, the Burrow. And yeah, I'd love to have your company. Please join me. Don't forget to subscribe and press that like button. And we should have fun making this. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.